what's up, everybody? Good evening, and welcome back to another edition of the Watchpoint Post-Show, live from the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles, where things got absolutely crazy today. I'm your host, Malik Forte, joined as always by Zoe. We got Sideshow on the end, and Mr. Rex, who's filling in for Brent, who's still resting up right now. So thanks, man.
I started down here on the pre-show. I'm just making
You're moving
my
up.
way.
Eventually,
I'm making my way
yeah.
towards your chair eventually.
You can have it.
I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good. I'll stay here. I'll stay in this chair. I'm good.
Well, yo, Matt, since you're the guest today, I'll start with you, man. What was the crazy, because it was a crazy day, what did you learn from all the action today?
What I learned is if you're playing the Spark, play Doomfist. I mean, they did see. I mean, they seem to figure it out towards the end. But hey, if you're a betting person, I mean, they may not figure it out. And I think if you're the Charge, practice something other than Doomfist. It seemed like that was the only thing you can make work. So that's what I learned today.
I was expecting a few more looks from the Charge, but hey, at least the Doomfist.
I mean, they did have other looks. They just weren't winning with any of them.
That's true. True talk.
Yeah.
All right, so what about you?
Oh, yeah, what did it? Oh, man, so much to take away from today.
Yes.
I guess what I learned the most, is that thing, will be in New York, seemingly can't play aggressive. And I ended right there.
They can't play aggressive.
Nope. No, that didn't
Really?
work for them. That did not work for them.
Yeah,
They're fantastic in their defensive style.
defensive style. yeah.
I did not like what I saw against the Atlanta Reign.
All right, well, we're definitely going to dive in more into that because I think there's some stuff to unpack with that. But Sideshow, what about you?
What did I learn today?
Yes.
Even the top teams can have bad days and are beatable, I think, or at least the NYXL is. It looked like there was a top three that was just going to go undefeated the entire time. Everyone had kind of already written it into the books, but they did stumble today against a team that nobody was expecting them to as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone expected it, but I think if you had one team out of that like top three, you would expect to fall first. I
Yeah, it would have been
probably
New
would've
York.
said
Yeah,
New York,
I think so.
All right, fair enough. Well,
But not
guys,
to Atlanta.
that was the one that was kind of strange, all right? The Guangzhou Charge were trying to avoid the record books coming into today's match against the Spark, having lost the last 23 consecutive maps. And good news for Charge fans, the streak came to an end on Busan. But could the Charge take it all the way on the back of Eileen's Doomfist? Joey and Sideshow didn't have faith. They picked the Spark,
Shout
and
out to Monty.
they were right. But guys, this is a bizarre match.
It was so weird. I think the Guangzhou Charge got in touch with Hangzhou earlier, and they were like, guys, we're about to set a historic loss streak. Do you mind gifting us a couple of maps? You'll know when to lose the map because we'll play Doomfist. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Was that the code word? The
Exactly.
secret
Weird.
signal.
Code word Doomfist, and they were like, no, we're just gonna donate a couple.
So weird.
Yeah.
Like the Spark would look like completely oblivious on one map, and then like they'd look unbelievable on the next map. But I feel like that's how they are as a team. Like we just haven't really seen them put it together like the entire time. But
Yeah.
I feel like the Spark as a team would really excel in like a more damage dealer heavy meta where it's crazy.
Oh, you mean that thing where everyone praises them to be the best at it,
Well,
which they never do on stage?
Well, I think what I think they probably succeed in that is that the game becomes crazy, and then it's just like 1v1s all over the place. Where you see, you know, IDK on the Lucio, he's like, you know, 1v2 people, he's booping people everywhere. Godspeed is sick. I think that's where they can be successful. I think in the really slower team-oriented.
I mean, that's the
stuff,
thing. They
struggle.
are clearly relying more on the individual plays regardless. So why sticking to a 3-3, which is all about team play, when really everyone just kind of wants to go up?
I would rather,
their own
though,
thing.
I would rather be the team that's more mechanically gifted and doesn't have a lot of teamwork than the team that has a ton of teamwork and is mechanically gifted. Like I think you can figure the teamwork out in time.
I mean, I'd rather be the team which wins. Whichever of those two makes me win, I'd take that one, I guess.
But you don't just, if you were like selecting a team and had to put points into something, you wouldn't just be able to put points in winning.
I would, actually.
Is that what
if
you
that
would
is
do?
an option, yes.
I loved Hex's comment coming out of this, which was that he thinks the team that looked the best out of all of this was Chengdu, which I think is fantastic.
It's not wrong.
Well, guys, despite the loss, we saw Eileen find some success
Yeah,
on
it was
Doomfist in this match. So, Zoe, is this a viable strat for the Charge? Should they continue to keep throwing Eileen on Doomfist and having them blow up the other team?
Viable is a very strong word. But I would say, you know, whatever gets you to win, go for it. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a Doomfist, sure. I kind of doubt that it's going to work against other teams. I have no idea why Spark just acted this if this is, in fact, the first time they're seeing a Doomfist on the server.
Yeah.
I think a team which may or may not be a little bit more familiar with playing against a Doomfist should be able to figure that that one out quite quickly because that's very punishable usually.
I mean, maybe they could have worked some other stuff in around the Doomfist. Like, if they would have played like a Sombra Doom and like ran some stuff.
They're introducing one element at a time. All right, start here. The Doomfist look good, and then maybe next time second DPS.
It's almost like they were just kind of unleashing him and just sending him into the wild. He'll get a pick, and then they're like, "Yes, we got this team."
Like,
But I kind of like it because it forced them to play like that style where they played more aggressive and weren't as scared. And even though that's a bit of a crutch, like you're forced to play aggressive because Eileen is going to be going in all the time, maybe it'll give them some indication of the direction they should go as a team.
All right, well, guys, I'm enjoying this Doomfist chat, but I don't think I can wait any longer. We need to jump into the match of the day. The NYXL up against the Atlanta Reign. Now, after a regular season winning streak that dates back to stage 4 of the inaugural season, the NYXL have finally lost a match. And guys, you can see it right here. Dako was back in the game today. Did that end up being a big factor in this victory for the Atlanta Reign?
Yeah, I mean, we knew Dako was a fantastic player. We were just waiting to see him again.
Yeah. Still no word on where he went. Disappeared.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Fine.
There's no way of
took
telling.
a creative break, you know, but he's back, so no questions asked.
Look, if Dako wanted to take a vacation, go ahead. Yeah, he can come back whenever he wants. Ain't nobody taking his spot.
As long as he
good.
comes back and beats the NYXL every single time.
Hey, he's good. He could go do what he wants.
To be fair, though, FRD had a good game as well, so...
Yeah. It seems
Even
like
though it's a very different style because he's playing so much more passive. And
he is
so
playing
much
passive,
less
but he was also.
reactionary.
I kind of liked the way that he was pressuring Mano when he was on Winston, and I don't know whether this was deliberate from Atlanta, but they tended to play Dako when Pogba was playing Ryan, and when there was like a direct Ryan v Ryan matchup. And Dako's aggressive style is great for pulling pressure away from Pogba. And then FRD was there when Mano was on the May on this clip, but generally on the Winston.
Classic.
Yeah. And so generally he was like able to actually hunt down Mano and put a lot of pressure on him there. But Atlanta in general just played like played up to their potential. They've got such a skilled roster, but they've just been down in the dumps and playing horribly for the past couple of weeks.
Right, when we saw them and we saw the player cams, they were happy, they were energetic, they were excited to be out there the entire game.
They're a fun team, Atlanta. You know, Baby, he's fantastic. Same with Dogman. You know, we were listening to the comms, like Moss is going to do Dako. Like, they have a fun energy about them. I like
They are. They're quite some characters.
All right.
Yeah, but even then, they're still quite some
How
characters.
many people besides you and Bren get excited to lose?
I love
it. These people, they love losing.
Gotta get used to it.
Well, look, I don't want to take anything away from the Atlanta Reign. They played an awesome match today.
Yeah, they did.
But I have to ask this question. What was wrong with NYXL? They looked out of sorts today.
They played so different. We know them so much as the team which punishes. Like, actually really punishes. And honestly, that was enough to be punished from the Atlanta Reign. I do think that Dogman and actually every one of their team overextended so often. And for some odd reason, New York did not punish it like they usually do.
So you're saying you're going to take Atlanta in the rematch?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it was kind of weird. Like, Dogman's so far forward and doing so much damage as a result of it, and you never saw Neko pressure him. And then, like, Mano is getting pressured all the time, and then he doesn't step forward to, like, relieve that pressure. And Libero is just allowing Erster to play really far forward as well. It was weird watching NYXL play.
Mano got next to no peel, so it's not even just on him. Like, he played more aggressive than usual, gets no peel, and then just dies. Yeah.
Right. It got so crazy. There was one point where Baby Bay was like overextending and no punishment.
Oh, yeah,
it came eventually, but it took a while.
Was that the moment where he blamed his teammate for not shielding him? It's like, take full responsibility, but really was
They're going to do that
fault.
VOD review, and they're going to see the clip on Anubis where Baby Bay on Widowmaker on defense goes into the choke. And, like, he's looking at Libero, and, like, everyone's going to look at him like, what?
What was that? Well, guys, the Reign certainly surprised the Overwatch League community today with that upset, and it seems they surprised themselves as well.
We win already, but I want 4-0.
4-0.
Yeah.
We need the 4-0. 4-0?
Oh.
4-0? Oh, wait, we win?
Yeah. We
win right now. We win. Oh, my God. We won.
Yeah, we win.
Yeah, we won. It's not over. I know. But
The NYXL were just a shock and seemed caught off guard in today's loss. So lucky for them, they've got a shot at redemption in week 5 as they rematch the Reign to end their stage 2. But Sideshow, what is the most efficient way for the NYXL to get revenge on the Atlanta Reign?
I think it all comes down to preparation, honestly. They looked like they came into this match and they just expected to be able to win. And I think multiple times throughout last season, we saw this as well. When New York would come into a game, they'd be playing against some opponent where they're just like, oh, we'll just clap these guys. And in the end, it ends up being much closer. And
We'll just rock up.
Yeah, but it sometimes seems like that is New York's attitude. But they are such like a prep-heavy team. I think now that they're looking for revenge, they're going to be so prepared for the next game against Atlanta, and they're just going to crush them.
Now that we've seen NYXL bleed a little bit, Matt, what's the weaknesses, man? What are the weak spots?
I don't know if there's a weakness, but I think there's something that we've seen here in Stage 2 that may have gone under the radar. They haven't had like the toughest games, but Nene's been a little bit off. Like since that Stage 1, I mean, Stage 1, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
We can take a look at Stage 1 on the left, Stage 2 on the right.
He changed.
I mean,
Look at those
yeah, but I mean,
pictures.
nothing.
Wow.
I mean, he changed poses. I mean,
Yeah.
it
Postures
changed the
different.
player as
Different
well. I mean, just the one more death per 10 minutes, but you're down in the limbs, you're down in grab kills, down in energy, down in final blows. The hero damage drop off is pretty substantial. To be
And
honest.
it's not like the team is playing differently.
different style,
It's not like they're playing harder opponents. It's not like everybody
opposite, actually.
else is playing worse. So he's actually just slipping.
Could it be he's still thinking about the graph from the stage playoffs?
He's just tilted himself on that grab. I don't know. That would be
He's just
some.
mentally stuck in that play forever.
It
like
could be. I'll tell you this. I never thought I'd see the day where the NYXL would be getting spawn camped. That was something
Yeah.
to witness, for
Yeah.
sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
that was wild.
It was wild.
The Shock would try it. The Shock were playing it. They tried.
Yeah.
But not,
not
Atlanta, I
Atlanta.
didn't expect that. Yeah.
I feel you. Well, guys, the Washington Justice have a new face on their roster, but was Sleepy the difference maker against the LA Valiant? That match and more up next. Don't go anywhere. The Watchpoint Post Show. We'll be right back.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
The boys from the city of brotherly love, the Philadelphia Fusion, are still trying to convince some analysts that they are a top-tier team in the Overwatch League, and their match today against the Outlaws would be a step in the right direction. If you've been with us since the 2018 season, you know these two teams have had a decorated history and some close matches. So would this matchup today serve as another barn burner? Not at all, partner.
Yeah,
No.
unfortunately not. I mean, Busan was super close, actually. That should have been Houston's to win. I think it's one of their best maps. They've got some really cool strats there.
I was the result surprised me, like in the way it happened. Like I thought this would be a really close series.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, same.
and it kind of wasn't.
Well, it slipped further and further away from Houston's hands the more the series went on.
It did.
And you just saw, like, Philly were the better team in terms of teamwork, discipline, ult usage, individual skill. They outplayed the Houston Outlaws.
Just name every facet of Overwatch.
Yeah. I mean,
listed
the
them
only thing that Houston looked
It's not
better at than
coachability.
that was, like, these cool strats that they had on Busan. And they even choked those away. So this was domination, honestly, from Fusion.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I honestly thought this could be closer, mostly going into that second half. We discussed it during halftime. We did think that going into Eichenwald, we're going to see Muma pop off on that Reinhardt. Like, yeah, I'm not sure why they looked side of swords. I'm not sure if this is another, like, mental kind of thing where if you're down that gives you a blockage. But technically, it shouldn't be because they are experienced. Like they're familiar with this kind of
I
situation.
do think there was some glaring like communication stuff when like they would rally and then like just run away. Like they'd be like 2 or 3 players.
How much time do they actually have with Arhan now?
I mean, you don't know, right? So I think it's
Because we
how
only
you work.
recently seen him back on the stage, so maybe that is actually the lack of scrim time with Arhan in the
That's true.
lineup.
Tell you what, though, Sado had a monster performance today. Like, now that Philadelphia Fusion are working well together and they were playing against a team that isn't, you know, that great, they were kind of rolling over them, Sado just pounded. He had some unbelievable primals where he's knocking everybody into the other team, and then he just destroyed on the Ryan v Ryan as well. I thought Muma might get the better end of him on the Reinhardt, but he continued to destroy.
I'm definitely eating my words from earlier, you know, the Coca-Cola drinking game. You know, Sato dying person team fights.
But
He was
also that's on
delivering
Houston.
today.
Like, you have to punish that stuff from Sado. If you know that the Philadelphia Fusion sometimes leave him undefended or he goes on like weird flanks, you have to put more pressure
I think
on
it's
him.
more. I think it's more to. I think Philly did a really good job putting pressure on Muma.
Right.
Like I think Philly was
Oh.
like, okay, if we put a ton of pressure on Muma and just run him down, I don't think.
Yeah, there was a
I'm
couple
not
of
really
times where
worried anything else.
he was just
Yeah.
getting juggled around the map. Like, Muma was just holding up his shield and was like,
Yeah.
getting slammed around.
Yeah, you're right
So-
there.
Nah,
I
I'm
mean,
just really
these
getting into
chairs,
it.
they're
I've got a lot of
probably-
energy to
I
burn
got a
out
quick
there
question
today.
for you guys.
Yeah,
I got a quick
watch
one for you
the chair.
guys because we've seen them find some success on some maps when they have like Linkser in, Spree on Zarya, things of that nature. Do you think this is maybe a lineup rotation type issue, or is it just strictly their game plan?
I think it's more a game plan thingy. I think if we're starting to do that weird rotation thingy with the Outlaws again, I'm not sure that's the best move right here because they did look strong before. The first match we saw from them in this stage looked great. I just think that there were some communication issues which definitely need to be addressed.
I mean, it'd probably be nice if Linkser could play like the Brigitte and you could keep him in. But it just seems like, you know, when he was not, you know, he was playing like Zarya when he was in a lot. And then you want Dante in because he can play, you know, the Zarya, you can play Sombra, you can play a lot of different heroes.
Yeah.
So I think it's really like the Brigitte role they need to sort out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd agree.
All right, guys. Well, earlier today, Washington announced a transfer that landed Sleepy on the Justice just in time for their match against the Los Angeles Valiant earlier today. Now, when you're at the bottom, there's only one direction you can go, and these teams both in desperate need of some momentum. The Valiant, trying to make it 2 of their last 3, continue to climb out of that stage 1 hole against a rather improved Justice team. I would say they're
I
improved.
mean, there's 2 directions. You go up or you go lateral. You just stay the same. I mean,
Well, that's not a direction. That's the same, right?
No, so what makes me more confident about these terrible teams in 2019
Oh,
is
come
that
on,
they're
don't
actually
go
making
in like
changes.
that.
Oh, come on, they are terrible, or they were terrible at the beginning of the season. But we had to endure Shanghai Dragons last year, right? And the changes
That was
they
a
made.
terrible team.
Yeah, and the changes
but it was
they
entertaining
made them worse.
because it was so bad.
That wasn't entertaining.
I don't think it's fair to compare them to the Dragons.
No, exactly. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. I don't think it's fair because
Okay.
Justice and Mayhem are making positive changes in the right direction and continue to improve. Like, just listening to their comms today, it was a world of difference, and they are going to get better.
I actually think the Justice can, you know, win a few games to be more competitive in the second half of the year. I think you don't have the. I mean, this one's tough. I mean, you're going against the Valiant, you're like, oh, they're 1-9, but you haven't had any opportunity to put Sleepy in, practice with him at all. Like, this one's kind of a wash for me. Like,
It's just a wash. That's
Yeah, but
I mean,
the
that's
thing is,
kind of what it is.
It's not like Valiant was like incredibly better. Valiant played very passive. They kind of just played the clock. They didn't really go out of the way to make big plays or something. They played incredibly safe.
I mean, you do have to give Valiant some props, like in the spot that they're in and where they were last year, and like, you know, they've lost some brutal games. Like, when you lose these brutal games, it's easy to come in here and just keep losing games. I mean, we saw 40 times in a row last year. I mean, it's kind of easy, right? So,
it's also
I give
wild
props for showing up. Beat the teams they're supposed to be.
It's wild they haven't made any changes, and yet they're starting to get a bit better as well. And
Their
they're starting to
season
figure stuff
last
out.
year, they stunk for a bit, and then they made all those changes and they became good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not making any changes right now.
Well, you know what's very
So-
interesting is at the beginning of this season, they didn't look too bad. They were losing those games very close.
Yeah.
And I think as they continued to accumulate those losses, they started to pretty much mentally boom, as you would say, sideshow.
It was a mental
So
boom.
now that they've got
You had
2
to
out of 3
trademark
wins,
that one.
so now that they've gotten 2 out of 3 wins, They look a little better. Oh, let's take a look at Sleepy's tweet after the game. Good games, LA Valiant. I was really nervous for today because I haven't scrimmed in about 2 months, which is a long time, but I'm proud of us. And I think give us some time, we will look a lot better. Thank you for supporting me and my new team. I will make you all proud. 2 months, guys.
Yeah, tell you what, he looked good for having not scrimmed in 2 months. And also, I think you can tell that he's still being, like, keeping in touch and watching the scrims from the shock and learning from it, because he came in there with, like, a veteran presence. And you could tell that he was directing the team and providing more of a leadership aspect, even if he hasn't been scrimming. I mean, the guy knows what he's doing. He's been on the shock.
I mean, look, you put together, Sleepy and Arc, 2 very good a flex support, main support, a support core. They were very strong last year, right? It's just Arc ends up going to the bench for Animo on New York. Sleepy goes on the bench for Violet. You can build off of that, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just that we've been pretty impressed with what we've seen from Corey at times, right? I think it's just solidifying the tank lineup.
Yeah, I think so. But I think that Sleepy will provide a massive boon to this team.
Yeah.
We thought the same with Arc when he came in, and it wasn't really doing anything.
Right.
But I do think it's really important, the fact that they're going more towards a mixed roster.
Yeah.
Because previously they always said, like, oh, we have a mixed roster. And it's like, okay, well, you're coming like 70% in Korean, and Corey's just left out to play Widowmaker and just try and click some heads. That's not a mixed roster. That's not good infrastructure.
No.
But now they're starting to actually make waves in the right direction.
Is this a top 10 backline?
That's kind of a weird question because I have to think about it.
I think the potential's there, though. To say, it can be argued. It can be argued.
It could. There's so many good backlines in the league. I'm tending towards no, but unless I rank them out,
They're on the
Really
cusp.
know.
Like, they're close.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't shown it at the moment, and it'll be hard to feel like a top 10 backline.
We got to give
because their team's bad.
I
but
say no.
maybe.
I don't even know where he's going. I think honestly we have such a stacked league, and they're not there yet.
Well, maybe on paper, but we got to give them time to synergize.
Yeah.
I think that's what
I
Psycho
thought of the
really
playoff teams, and then I was like, okay, well, who are the 2 under there? I was like, all right, well, what
Then
are
you
the
had to
2
count
under
to 10,
there? I was
and
like,
then you
maybe I just jumped on the sideshow hype train for a second. I was
He
like,
sold it for us.
moving a little too fast.
I mean, that's just top 10 is just mid-table.
Yeah.
So it's just, are they a mid-tables backline?
Okay.
I think they probably
All right.
are. They're somewhere around there anyway.
Well,
the table's got 15 spots.
Well, we got plenty of season to watch. All right, guys, coming up, we'll take a look at the moments that made us jump out of our seats. And trust me, there were a few of them. More Watchpoint post-show coming up. Don't go anywhere.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, everyone. It is now time for the most over-the-top moments of the day, starting with the Washington Knights coming out earlier today.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Can anybody explain
someone
this
read
to me?
their history books correctly. I don't think they were nice.
In fact, I'm pretty sure that's an English emblem and a castle that they've got on there. So
They just went to a watch party last Sunday for a show. And, just recolored the outfits.
Yeah, I didn't quite get that one. Next, we have Sato doing his thing with the 4K on Gibraltar. Pretty much nothing the Houston Outlaws could do. They were all stuck in this room, getting slapped around. It's an ultra combo, as we call it in the fighting game community.
great combo. Frame perfect.
Yeah, and And again, Sato popped off in this game. I'm definitely eating my words from earlier. Next, IDK setting up this 3 KSD with Rhea. Really nice play from the two.
He was sick. I mean, he had
He was on point as of late generally. Like already when they played against, was it Uprising? It was Uprising, yeah. Like the amounts of great boops and game maker boops he actually got is absolutely fantastic.
All right, coming up next, Arc with a big boop on Rialto. That's how you do. That's a top 10 backline play right there, baby.
Oh, there you go. Malik with the plug.
Fate gets so unlucky as well. He lands in between the pagoda and the land. Like, look at Fate. Like, how does a Reinhardt even fit through that gap? What?
And last but not least, Atlanta getting a huge upset against the New York NYXL.
They didn't even know they had the upset. I mean,
Which was
we
all the
knew
more
before
upsetting,
before they do. Yeah.
That was kind of crazy. They full hold them in time bank, and Baby Bay doesn't
Can't
even
believe it.
know the rules of Overwatch somehow. This is wild, though. This is the biggest upset we've had all year by far.
Ever.
I think that's arguable. It might be the biggest upset in Overwatch.
They literally went from losing to the winless Valiant. They lost last week to Valiant, and then they come out and they beat New York.
I mean, Baby had like every grab eaten by a Fury in a series like a week ago.
They're great.
Yeah.
All right,
I
now,
loved it at that
guys,
point they just laughed
look,
about it.
let's check out our Twitch leaderboard.
I love it.
Matt, I'm not letting you off the
Look,
hook.
sometimes
You're going to take my job today. Go ahead.
Look, sometimes you don't win in the game, but you get those cheer bits. It don't matter. You're good. I mean, they're climbing up the leaderboards there. You got Atlanta at the top. Spark number 2. Who doesn't like the pink, right? I mean, you gotta spend your money on the pink. You got Fuel hanging out towards the middle. So Dynasty up in here. You got a nice mix of teams in here. I mean, those are obviously the fan favorites. We go to the Twitch cheer bits here, the individual ones. These are the ones spend a ton of money. Number 7 looks familiar.
Yeah, I know that guy. I know that guy.
Yeah. I hope he still donates tomorrow.
Hastro's still in here.
Yeah.
He
wouldn't even play today.
Astro, roll by my stream.
I think number 5 is new,
14-9,
though.
I got to do the math. I don't know what that is.
New?
But
I haven't seen number 5 yet.
I think
it was
it's
new.
gone now, so
I don't know.
We'll never know.
I didn't
We'll have
really
to
read
call
the
it out
graphic.
tomorrow.
I just kind of pointed.
Guys,
What's
speaking
tomorrow?
of Twitch, be sure to go get your Overwatch League All Access Pass on Twitch, because coming right up after Watchpoint, you won't want to miss the live Q&A with Crystal from the Hangzhou Spark, exclusively with that All Access Pass on Twitch. But guys, coming up, we'll see what's in store for tomorrow, so don't go anywhere. More Watchpoint coming up.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, we kick things off with the Spitfire taking on the Uprising, followed by Shanghai up against Florida. The Fuel look to rebound against the Dynasty, and the Gladiators, trying to stay hot, take on the Chengdu Hunters. With all that ahead of us, what match are you most excited about? Actually, I already know it's going to be the Chengdu Hunters. So why don't you tell us how much you love the Hunters right out the bat right now?
All right, they're pretty cool. All right, yeah, it's probably the game I will be looking forward to the most. But you know what? Just to make you not be right, I'm looking forward to being back on the desk, watching great Overwatch with my friends and colleagues.
That's
Really?
So
That's how we're going to do it?
That's a
That's
phenomenal.
where I'm
revolting.
going with this.
That's revolting.
Revolting.
Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah, I
want to.
love you guys.
You didn't want
Yeah,
to
this-
double down on Chengdu, possibly upsetting the Gladiators, giving them the first loss
It
of
would
the
be
stage?
tripling down at this point. And now I just look like a fangirl. So I'm kind of step away. In case they're losing tomorrow, I don't want to look like an idiot. So
All right, fair enough. What about you, Matt?
I'm excited for the Shanghai Dragons
Oh my
against the Florida Mayhem.
are you really?
Really?
This has been a battle
It's a different year.
that has gone on forever. Last year, every Florida Shanghai one, everybody would come into the venue and be like, this is the one. This
Right.
may be Shanghai's 5th. The Florida Mayhem, they're still sitting at 1. I mean,
Wait.
they've kind of reversed courses here where...
The tables have
Wait,
turned.
Yeah, I mean, well, not really reversed. I mean, Shanghai right now is doing better than Florida's ever done.
Matt,
But
do you know
like,
off the top of your head how many franchise wins the Shanghai Dragons need to eclipse
I
the Florida
do.
Mayhem?
I do. So the Shanghai Dragons are sitting at 4, right? They have 4 wins this season, right? They're sitting at 4 all-time wins. They didn't win any games last year, if you're new.
I heard of
The
it.
Florida
yeah.
Mayhem only have 8. You subtract all the games they won against the Shanghai Dragons, they only have 4. So you can see these two teams, you know, some of the top cream of the crop we got. I'm excited though. It's
gonna be good.
Shanghai, for all jokes and purposes, like the Shanghai has looked pretty good this year.
Yeah,
They have a much
they are.
better team, so I'm expecting them to win. The place is gonna go crazy. Everybody goes crazy for a Shanghai win.
Yeah,
I mean,
at some point they need to realize that Shanghai are actually good and there's no need to
I
scale
know. It's
them
like,
that
it's
much
like oh
anymore.
man, everyone's like the
think that's
confetti's
gonna
blowing
take
off
another
when Shanghai
Tuesday,
wins.
too.
Like, they're actually good.
We could
Like,
do another whole segment talking about DM and Ding and how good they are and yada yada, but let's not do that. Sideshow, what's
All
your
right.
pick?
I'm most excited for that Dynasty Fuel game. Dynasty
Yeah.
Fuel game. I thought I'd done the classic thing of
He
saying
just like
Dallas
blacked
and
out
Fuel.
for a second.
The Dallas versus Fuel game.
Stop.
I'm excited for that one because I think Dallas are actually looking like a fairly decent team. But the first team that's going to give them a proper test is going to be the Seoul Dynasty. And
Okay.
it's like a classic franchise back and forth that we've seen. It was like the opening game in 2018. Both of these two teams were like top team in Europe versus top team in Korea. Not that any of those players play anymore for Dallas, but I'm excited to see how that match turns out.
All right. Well,
Well,
guys.
sold me on that history.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
there you go. Yeah, you really sold me on the Florida Mayhem, Matt. Keep going. Yeah, your match.
That's all y'all on
More accurate
friendship. We're
tuning
doing
to.
great.
Oh, you guys are silly. All right, I'll give you the high five. Guys, that's going to do it for the Watchpoint post show. Puckett and the crew will be back tomorrow with the pre-show at 11:30 Pacific, so stay tuned or tune in. You won't want to miss that. But until then, we'll see you guys later.
Hold up his shield. It's like,